Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Dead End here in Cities Skylines. Well, last episode, guys, we built our, technically our I say second industry, it's technically our third industry after the oil and the casinos of our mining operation, which is now starting to make us some pretty sweet cash. We kind of started quite modest, we'll kind of extend it and expand it as time goes on. But we started to make a little bit of profit right now, which we can use that money into building bigger and better stuff for the residents of the entirety of the Dead End region. I asked you guys to give me some pretty sweet name suggestions in the comment section down below for it, which I've got a really good one. But just before we get into it, guys, if you are enjoying this series so far, make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out. Now, guys, in the comment section as well, give me some suggestions of what you want to see or what you want me to kind of build or what you think will be a kind of a cool idea to build within the Dead End series. We got a bunch of stuff coming up, like, you know, Area 51 and all that kind of jazz. So you better watch out, boys. You better watch out right now. We're coming in hot and heavy right now. But here we are, guys. We are now back. And first thing I'm going to do then is rename our new mining corporation. So I do apologize because I always forget who leaves these comments, but a really good name, and I want to appreciate everybody who did leave some name suggestions, was to call it Deadpan Mining Inc. Deadpan Mining Inc. It just sounds freaking amazing, doesn't it? I think they said dead because obviously there's nothing growing here. Deadpan, you know, because, well, you kind of get the gist of it. We're panning for ore. Not really for gold, but hey-ho. We're getting metals and glass coming out of it in the end. So we're actually making right now 7,000 in total profit on that previous week. We got 28,000 a week in weekly income coming in right now. You can see how we set up the import-export, which is really good. Everything's pretty much all rocking and rolling. At some point, I'm probably going to redo these train lines because what I want to do, because in this series, I rather than going tunnels, I've been kind of going for the sunken railway line kind of set up, and that's kind of what I want to eventually get all done. But today then I want to look at slightly expanding lost wages just a little bit more. I want to get set up some of the traffic stuff right now, because we started to experience a little bit of traffic last episode. Like you can see some here right now. It's like, it's not ideal. It really is not ideal right now. So I got to sort some of this out. Got some really good ideas for it. I want to get a passenger line that goes from Lost Wages all the way up to Tumbleweed as well, which means reconfiguring maybe a corner or a turn just off this, which is going to be really exciting. So yeah, it's going to be fairly interesting. Now, what happens is in Lost Wages at the moment, when a train comes in, whether it's from another town or more importantly, if it's like from outside of the region, we get a ton of peeps and passengers all of a sudden decide to leave the train station, which then goes on to cause a lot of traffic, like a lot of traffic right now. And the biggest offender happens on this road here directly from it because they want to join onto the highway. Now, currently right now, and I kind of realized this when I placed down this road, I placed down this road here, which had a turning lane on. And I thought to myself, wait, that's not the same type of road. Then I realized, wait, I've been using the wrong type of road altogether. So we need that third lane to give them the ability to go left and right, because as of right now, you can see it's not too bad just yet. I think that's the train that's come out. Yeah, actually, we might see the problem happen right now. Did you just come from outside of the region? You did. Which as everybody now progresses out, we might see this actually happen right in front of our eyes. You can see now the amount of vehicles that now start spawning, which is kind of overwhelming. One, this junction, and then two as everyone goes up here. So you got to think about it. There's three main ways that they can go. Either left, right, or straight on. So first things first that I want to do then is upgrade this road to have the ability to have a turning road in. So I think the whole time I thought I was placing a road with a turning lane in. Turns out I wasn't. I got bamboozled. So you have to upgrade this little section there, elevated, to there, and I'll bring it to there. Which does mean I might have to do the whole kind of system, but I'll leave it like that. But that still doesn't solve the problem. It solves a problem in the fact that I can get more vehicles going to and from, because now there's pretty much 3 lanes that they can utilize. But when it comes to like this, because this is the most popular route that they want to go in, you can kind of see it happening right now. These want to turn, these want to turn. So like how I've done it on the approach, I need to drop a 2-laner on each side. So if I kind of add it in there, and how far did I take the other one? I took it to about there, didn't I? Yeah. Which then gives the ability to turn the two vehicles in at once, thus getting rid and filtering out more traffic from Los Wages. Makes it a whole lot easier. So do it on this side as well, again, just to kind of bulk up what we've got to use. Now, I'm not saying that's going to solve all my issues and my problems, but it's going to be a big, big help. A big, big help. Now, these guys here are pretty much tripping over one another. So I want to make sure that these are turning in here. And I don't know if they're going to actually use that lane. So if I bring that one to there, I can maybe utilize that one to go that way. But both left turning lanes go into that one. Just so the vehicles aren't, again, tripping over one another. But we'll see how it plays out. So that is like a very simple kind of system to get set up straight away. I mean, it happens every so often. It's not all the time. Now, it's a little bit more difficult to apply it to this little area because we have the monorail tearing through it as well. But traffic doesn't seem to be that bad right now in this area, probably because there's nothing going on around it. But I've got to sort this out right now. Right, okay, so problem is the fact that they all have to stop when a vehicle goes round and connects through. And it's not good. It's not good. I can see another issue just there, how they won't kind of frail onto one another. So what can I do then to kind of encourage the vehicles flowing? Because they just stop randomly. It's like they hesitate. They get too scared. They have a sniff of a vehicle coming close by and they're like, nah, I'm out of here, boy. I could turn off the give way sign here and allow them to flow through. I mean, this is what I could do. I mean, the give way sign is still there anyway, but if I allow them to kind of completely flow through and out of that junction without any hesitations, we'll see how that goes. So then I've got to add it to this. And just here as well. So they're all using that single lane, which is not a problem. It's not a problem, but it does have a little bit of issue with the vehicles merging in just there. So if I kind of make them both go straight just here, then they'll merge further up the road, which allows the vehicles to all flow through. And all it really does is just pushes a little bit more traffic through a little bit quicker. It doesn't really solve anything. But if these are the huge amount of issues I've got right now, and if those, a couple of little tweaks kind of slightly solve it, then who am I to argue, right, guys? Who am I to argue right now? So eventually we'd have to have some more connections down the road. I'm thinking about eventually using this road here to connect up to there in some way, shape or form. But that kind of like, I wouldn't say solves it, just kind of settles a few little probs. Now, once I've got this all built up, I might then create like a few like overlays and underlays of roads, overpasses and underpasses, depending on where the majority of the traffic is then coming from. But that's stuff that will eventually kind of mess around with as time goes on. So, this is quite simple for now. And all the traffic can now probably, well, may even start changing once we get the train line from Los Wages up to Tumbleweed. So at the moment, a train can leave here. It can go around, go there under, travel up, and come to here, go around, go way up. But there is no way that that train line connects to our current train line. Now, what I'm about to do is allow a train line to go here and connect to there. What this is actually going to do right now is hook up the Tumbleweed to Los Wages, but also allow all the passenger train lines from Tumbleweed to Oxbrook to Drought to even Flood, giving them the ability to have intercity trains coming from outside the region to each of their areas, which then might decrease the amount of people that come visit Los Wages, thus minimalising the traffic. So it's all for a good cause. I just got to create that connection. So how are we going to do that then is go to the trains. And if I sunk it here, how low are we talking? It is currently, well, it goes at different, I wanted to connect to this one anyway, so what is that elevation change? So it's down by a -4. Okay, easy enough. So if I did it here and I did it in the center, sink it down right there, that should be fine. I'd rather have the big ditch or the big kind of cliff edge near the train line rather than to the road. But then I've got to make it go under the road. So what are we at this point? That becomes That's still not -4. Is that like a -8? It won't even allow me, it won't even show me what you could be. Oh, it's a I think it's a -6, right? Yeah. Alright, so 4 there. So from here, if I go to... Actually, I need to pull this back quite a bit. If I bring this up to there, delete this one, because we'll gradually bring it down. -6. Now, is that enough then to kind of class? Right, I've got to anarchy it through. Because then we've got to rise that road just here. So, elevate that road up. Definitely not high enough. But I'll get it all connected in just a second. So, bringing that forward again. Just to there. So I'm going to make this a little bit more straight. So it's got enough there to kind of handle that turn, which is pretty fine. And now I've actually seen it from this way. I can see that this point there is definitely a lot lower. So if I select that point, that point, that point, and that point, and then make them all be the object height of that point, makes them a lot lower. And then if we select... Actually, I won't select it just yet. So if I bring it in just there, and then from this moment then, so if I select you, to you, to you, and you, and even you just there, we'll go to there and slope these. We'll get a bit more of like an incline going down. And we'll play around with something, because some of it, this bit here is quite high. So we'll play with the gradual incline, that's not too bad. All I want to do right then is then just play around with the smoothing. Now, I'll bring the brush strength down. So it's just so it's not as harsh. You can tell that, you know, the humans did carve this out. Okay, not too bad. So very, very simple. Yet it's going to be very, very effective on this run. So all I got to do right now then is actually create a train line connection. So we currently have it from here. So if I change it to this platform instead, so they're not kind of, you know, on both platforms. And I'm just going to bring it to tumbleweed, and that's literally it. So add stop just there, and then take it all the way back. Simple back and forth, nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. It's just to get the folks from over here into tumbleweed. We have the other one that goes all the way up to drought. And then from either direction, they can then take the way that they want to go. But that just allows us to have a more direct connection. And you might get a lot of them just using it to simply get up to here rather than driving all the way up to here. So we'll see what we get from that and how interesting that will then be. How is the bus route over here? Do we got any buses coming in? We do. So lines overview. Bus line 2 just here right now. There's there's not too many people on it, which is all okay. I've got to do a train kind of overlay as well at some point and just go through all the train routes and see how they're ticking along. But I think those little small little tweaks should really, really help us right now. Especially the train line. I mean, I got all the other stops and stations now have the ability to get intercity trains. It'll take it'll take the pressure off this station a whole lot more. So that's really good then. I'm actually quite excited to see where this will now go. So we're still requiring over here then, there's not enough educated workers. What are the education levels like? They are, okay, so that's elementary school, high school, university. We don't have a university. So what I want to do next episode is I want to build a university here, and we'll 100% set that up next episode. That's going to be really, really fun, pretty much fundamental for us. The land does slightly slope down a bit, but we can handle all that. It's near these two monorail stops as well, which can be handy. So what I'll do, it's not going to be a huge university. I'm not going to get like every single type of building within it. But if I choose a natural barrier to how far the university will go. So if I chose, let's say, should I say this road? or this road. I mean, that would be a really, really small university, and it is on quite an awkward slope. So I'll pick this road here as being the natural barrier. And what I'll do as well is then I'll pick a point here. Right, where that will be the edge of the road barrier. So where does this come out to connect? 14. So if I came out by 4, which will be there, I know then at this point I'm doing a 10. I can do a 10 by 10 bend. So it kind of just slightly falls away, and then we're in line with the highway to a certain extent. It's not perfect, but we're kind of then in line with the highway where we kind of sprawl the city out slowly. So what is that full length there before it started bending? So 104. So the 100's just there. So let me just double check. Yeah, 100's there. So we'll do a 30 down. We'll do a 30 down. 30 down. And it's just going to pretty much end by sprawling. So there's no connection going on here. We actually don't have any other connections unless I kind of add one in myself. Because it kind of bends around. It kind of takes away from what we've got going on. So, okay. So, again, keeping the grid honest. Because this will be like the lower end of the city. And I'll see how far I can pretty much take this right now. And I think I'll place like a nice little park. Just like bridging the gap in a way. So if I came up, I can come up straight here. Or I could come up with a bend. It all depends on how this road plays out. So let's say... Well, that's picking a 10 spot there. So if I just do a 10 to here. And how far up is that? 12, and that is 11. So borderline okay. We'll do it from there as it bends out. And then this is going to be a 14 by a 14. So it just kind of goes around the recon slightly. Not sure how I feel about it. Whether that will kind of turn into like quite a bulky road. Or whether I should be coming off like, say, here. Let me try that instead. So bringing that up. So there, 46. So if I do 36, I know that that's going to be a 10 by 10. Or a 10 by 12 in that point. So the road just came up there. At least it's gone off the main dragger road going all the way up. And then I could simply have that connection just in here. And it opens up. All this will be like a little city park. And we'll have like gates so they can walk through to get over here a lot easier. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. So then if I now start to kind of create a sprawl. As this area kind of slowly tails off. And then we'll add in a couple of cul-de-sacs as well. So just like we got going around there, these little cul-de-sacs will kind of be the way that we can naturally end the sprawl. So what we're saying, going like one there. Too many, you reckon? No, I like it. I like it. And then shall I end each of these areas with a cul-de-sac? Just shows us that that is the city limits. And then I never like a medium. We'll place down a bunch here then. So if I came up by 5. By 5. So I'm really dedicating this area to cul-de-sacs right now, aren't I? Wow. Got to slightly rotate each one. Imagine living here, like on the cul-de-sac with the mountain behind you. That is one hell of a view. That is one hell of a view you've got right there. So that's how we're going to pretty much end it. So this open space here will create walkways for it all. So if I just kind of quickly finish up the water side of it, and then I ain't got to worry about that. So we'll go straight right now. And there we go. So the water side of it's all done. We'll set up a little bit of a city park right now. So do I incorporate a car park? No, I don't think I will. And I could have the city entrance there, or I could place it on the... No, we'll put it here right by the monorail stop. I can put it on the monorail stop, which will be interesting. And then what we'll do... Is that the park erase tool? There we go. We'll quickly go around. Bring it down to there. And of course, it's going to be called Los Wages City Park. There we go. And even though it doesn't feel centralized whatsoever, it kind of slightly will be when we get more of this kind of area bulked up and the university over on this side. It's going to look really, really good. So, we'll get a load of the little side gates down right now. So, park side gate, park main gate. So, it's got to be the side gate I've got to get in. So, if I add one in there and then one in there. Add one there. So, I'm going to go a little bit bulky because obviously I want to get as many in as possible. I want this area to be very, very accessible. I'll do last one just here. So, we'll first go ahead and sort a load of the path out. And I want to do the one with trees because obviously it's got to look good. And I want to try and incorporate by not ruining as much zoning as I possibly can. So if I bring that to there, and then when can I create 5? There we go, nice little bend just here. Just go simply like that. I feel like we should have one down here as well. Just there. There we go. So continue this going up, and then well, yeah, we'll cut through just there. And let's see what I can do here with that path. So we are going to have to like destroy some of the zoning. That is inevitable. So I'll bring it to there, then we'll slowly start to bend it around now. So we at least get to keep some of it dotted around. Oh, that went kind of slightly squiffed, didn't it? There we go. And then we'll get this to slightly follow as well. Like that. So, good walkable areas. Well, is it too much to ask for a little pond in here? How big are the water sources? Ooh. That's going to be way too much to ask for, isn't it? It's going to be way too much. Should we... Oh, man, I can at least attempt it, but I don't have many hopes for this. So bring the brush size right down. The terrain height is... Okay, so we'll go down by... Okay, too much. Hang on, what's the height again, sorry? So it means I've gone down by 20. Even that's a little bit too low, isn't it? Don't you think? But it might be exactly what I need for the water. Alright, let me pause. Alright, do you reckon that's asking for too much? Right, play. I might cause some flooding. I might not. But potentially I could have a small little city park pond. It's going to raise it slightly. Which isn't too bad. Let me fast forward. I'll pause and raise it. A little bit more water. We should really be smoothing the edges off as well. Oh, I feel like me doing this is now going to cause some flooding. Oh, no, we're okay. It'd be nice to have a small little pond, wouldn't it? But water level's got to go higher. The fine-tuning I'm trying to do right now and not to cause any flooding is ridiculous. Right, a tad bit. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Don't want to take it any further. Don't want to try and take it any further just yet. But that's not too bad. That's not too shabby. I'll accept it. So back into normal play mode then. We'll get some of the little bits and bobs now in to make this a pretty decent city park. So, little park calf. I think I'll get 2 of each. Or, actually no, we'll try and kind of centralise or localise everything within this kind of vicinity. We got then the park info booth. Of course, we want that near the main entrance. We've got the big chessboard, which I'm reserving the larger areas for the bigger bits. The pier as well, which we can also utilise. See the benefits of having. Is that the fishing one? No, park pier 2. The benefits of having some water inside. Now we've got the climbing frame, and we have the trampoline park. Trampoline park just there. Climbing frame. I'll squeeze just there, and then the rest is then just kind of like gazebos. So gotta add in some palm trees because this is dead end. This is the natural tree of the region. So that adds in a bunch of stuff right there, which is really, really handy. It's a shame you can't change the trees here and turn them into palm trees. It's a shame, really, isn't it? But I suppose it is what it is. So before I add any trees down, though, I want to do some zoning. So we'll place residential first. Or do I do commercial around it? Now we'll do residential on this side. Going down to here and to here. And then I'll do commercial here and here. Even though they were already screaming that we don't have enough workers. Residential. Pretty much going all the way down. So a lot being thrown in. And we'll pick a couple of little areas. Like I'll do a... Oh, wrong button. 3x3 crossover there for a little bit of commercial, local commercial nearby. Do the same just there. So they got some, close shopping areas nearby that they can walk to. Grab, a loaf of bread and all that kind of jazz. So that's quite a big chunk there for them to now kind of build up and kind of move in on. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really happy with the little park. So I know I'm not going to build with inside of it. So I think I'm happy enough then to choose to place some trees down. Now, I'm probably going to go over the top again. I wasn't even pressing anything then and it started clicking. So just dot a few around. And when I say a few, in Seniac speak, that means place as many as you can possibly fit within the vicinity. So I'll just do around there for now and we'll kind of place down a bunch of the plants. Because I'm trying to create a tropical paradise. Yeah. So I've got to wait for the rest of the buildings to all build in before I can start placing some of the other stuff down. There's a few little areas I can squeeze some stuff. Just there. Just there. Because I'm all about trying to add greenery. You know, because we've done it in some of these areas and I really do like it and I want to kind of continue the same theme. So, a few trees around here. Even though I jokingly do go over the top. The reason I'm going over the top is because I'm trying to get rid of the dirt with vegetation. So I'll accept it to there. So, very simple to begin with, but it does add some greenery. We're already starting to get people coming over here. And by having it so close to this, it then makes this more of a hotspot, more of a reason to go visit this little section. And this one, where's the second one? It's just over here. So, it's not too far away from, again, a potential side gate for them to enter. But this will then slowly start growing. So have a little fast forward then, get some peeps moving in. Got a bunch of commercial dropping all down as well. Again, more of a reason to get on the monorail, do some shopping. But I like it. Look how dark blue that is compared to the flowing light blue. Nice. Nice. So, traffic doing its thing. Ooh, okay, so I originally got these set up. And it looks like they're not playing ball right now. So that's straight over ahead, and that's also straight ahead. I gotta make them play ball to get into the correct lanes. That then makes the traffic filter out a whole lot quicker. There we go. So give them a minute or two now to decide what lanes they actually need to be in. But see how much it filters out the traffic a bit more easier. Now we've got technically 3 lanes going in 3 directions. So much more smoother. So much more smoother. Right, how are we doing then? So the CEO Lost Wages is already started to make us profit. I mean, I could bring that right up, double the amount of money we got coming in. But they're using it. They're walking around. They're enjoying the palm trees and the sweet, sweet desert air breeze. This is getting used even more right now, which is good to see. Where are the monorails? Oh, there's one. It's actually coming to the stop right now. How is this doing, actually? If I check, it's got a lot of people on board. Line details. 591. I didn't realize so many people were using it. So I might need to add a few extra. Yeah, I'm going to have to add like a few extra on. So I'm adding an extra 2 on board right now. 2 more vehicles on the line. Because one of the stops, which I assume it's this stop here, yeah, the actual main station, is overwhelmed. And a lot of the other vehicles are almost at full capacity. Look at that right now. There's now 300 waiting as that train approaches. Interesting. I didn't realize so many people were using it. But it's one of the things, it's hard to tell because you never see people because they're undercover in the station. And you just kind of forget about it. So, yeah. It's going to take a while before they get the power. I'm not going to bridge anything over. I'll let it all naturally grow. But what I will do, though, is I will place down an elementary school. But I might do it in a different style. We've got a community school. I could do a community school, which that house is 250 people. It's not a lot more, but it's just like nice to have something a little bit different within the area. So if I place it there, again, it's going to need the power, but it'll eventually all connect over anyway. Right, very good. Which, like I said, then it leaves this space here to kind of squeeze in a small little university campus. Not sure whether it's going to be like normal university, a trade school, or the liberal arts. Again, not 100% just yet. But I'm not going to be able to place in every single type of building. But what I do want to make sure is I can place in one of the sports arenas. That's something I want to make sure I can definitely do. So it'll be a very, very modest university. Right then, so I think we can now turn on some of the buildings. These are complaining about there's low land value. Really? Okay. So the pink casino, if I turned it on, 4,000 a week it cost us. It's a lot of money. The luxury hotel cost us 3,200, so I'll only turn those two on for now. It's definitely not. There's a bit of death going on around here. What's the death care like around here? We've got one available. Do I squeeze a secondary one in? I could just throw it just here. Just kind of utilize a bit of the space. Give us a little bit of a helping hand. But yeah, Lost Wages is coming together quite nice. Now, there's a lot of traffic heading on the way down. Now, they're doing the same thing. They all go into that one side of the lane and then push themselves back over. So, it's kind of annoying that they do that. I don't know why. If I dedicate the lane there, it doesn't really change anything. So I'm not sure how they kind of get in their head that going the outer lane there is technically the quicker route. I don't know how they get that through their head. And then some other vehicles don't do it. It amazes me. But anyway, because we don't have ultimately too much traffic at the minute, I'm gonna give them the ability to keep flowing on through. Now, speed limits on these roads, it goes from a 90 to 100 on a slip road. That's crazy. But that should keep pushing them through anyway. But like I said, I kind of wanted to get like a connection down here as well, didn't I? So whether that be, I mean, would it be another roundabout? I did it with a turning lane. Would it be another roundabout, or do you reckon that's a bit too much? Having them too close by. I feel like I need an additional connection to kind of divide where people are heading to. I feel like it's going to be way too close. Alright, let me stagger this by one. Right. And can I get away with this? So if I bowed that out and then that in. I mean, I could have done this without me having to use the move it tool. But it kind of slightly pushes us away and creates like something a little bit different and unique. So if I connected us just there, used a roundabout mod, 3-lane highway, go by a 60, which is, you know, that size as you can kind of tell. Bam. Throw us on. Now it does completely mess up. I'm going to have to pause now. My connections. Double roundabout though, is that the way to go forward? They will still utilize this roundabout and go down because that's the one that's connected to the highway. But I don't know. It's one of the things, you just don't know how it's going to play out. So you might as well just implement what you got to implement. And then see where the chips fall. Get it? The chips, because we're in Lost Wages. Now, got to get rid of the 90 degree here. It's all on a slope as well, which kind of completely throws us all off. You can see it's all kind of like Genga's all weirdly staggered. So, see what we can do here. I need to get rid of that turning lane on this bit because it doesn't really make any sense. So we'll just kind of go. Let's go for like normal retreats. As it enters the area. Same with this, because the turning circles make no sense on these roads. At least we can have some beautiful trees going down there, kind of like, you know, create a vibe. And then the vibe ends. As you get into Lost Wages, it all changes. So a bit funky. Definitely a bit funky right now. But it is what it is. I can't remember the mod that allows you to kind of create like nicer slopes and whatnot. But it wouldn't be too shabby if I can slightly raise the roundabout. The roundabout's all over the place in general anyway. So I can fine tune it as much as I wanted to. It's never going to be perfect. But yeah, I mean, it's as good as you can get it for now. So let me just quickly sort out anyway the lanes here on both of these areas so they don't trip over one another. I want to sort out the actual roundabout itself, just give it the basic setup to begin with. And the ability to fly through on these little sections is very important because sometimes I like to stop and start. And then everything else will kind of add and change as time goes on. As we start to see the issues, we'll mess around with it. So this ultimately then is really going to send all the traffic coming down here literally into 2 lanes. Because you're even... see, that's not... It's going to annoy me again. So I can set it up where you're doing this. They're doing that. They're going into this lane. Double lanes. Actually, if I get rid of this one, this is completely against what I should be doing. But I've forced them into that 3rd lane because they're the ones that are going straight over the roundabout. And the ones that want to turn off here come in that direction. And they use this one if you want to utilize and go down here. How much pressure it puts on these junctions, I do not know. If it becomes a little bit too much, I'll create highway junctions and get rid of the roundabouts. I can even create flyover routes to get over to here. Or even a flyover route from there, which kind of turns, follows up and connects to there, so we can avoid both the 2 roundabouts. That would be also a pretty cool idea. But we see as time goes on, there's a lot of vehicles now decided that that is probably a better option for them to utilize it. So, yeah. We'll just see what happens. It could be a good idea, it could be a terrible idea to implement something like that. Again, it's just as time goes on. Not enough educated workers, which again shows us that the education side of things is a very, very important priority we need to get up and running. Deadpan mining, so let's invest a little bit more money over here. So how are we looking? We're still importing. We are still importing, but we could also do with some more production buildings. So keeping the theme of this area, that land slightly starts to go up. So if I come up by a full 20... Yeah, we'll do 30 there. And then we'll create a little cut down to here by 15. And we'll place down a couple of plants right now. So let's go for the smaller out of the 2 that I can squeeze in, which will be a good idea to get these 2 bad boys in. Almost have water. They should have power. Yep. So that straight away adds in 2 additional buildings. I want to sort out the land right now. So utilizing this of the brush size. There we go. So just pushing it out to create like a square, because it shows us that, you know, we kind of leveled out the area to be able to fit something like this in. It does climb up quite a bit there, doesn't it? But that's interesting because then I can 6 by 6 it. So you create that elevated area so it all becomes part of the theme. So 2 additional production buildings right now, which will increase the... What was that again? That is the glass. The glass side of things. Very, very good. Very good. And I think we should probably take a kind of a stab in the dark at maybe then starting to build a couple of warehouses. That would be quite handy as well. So, have we even used any warehouses at all? I'm trying to think if we've actually implemented any of them. Did I add any in the oil area? I think we've had a fire recently as well. Do they show up when you click on warehouses? I don't think they do they? Did we have any over here? I'm sure I've had something in somewhere to have like commercial goods. But I can't quite remember if I have. It's a weird one, isn't it? It really is a weird one. Yeah, okay, right, anyway. I'm getting carried away. So, where's the flattest area we can pretty much work with? I don't really have much kind of hope around here. I'm going to have to create my own kind of new road. Right, let's pick a little area then. Let's, oh, do you know what? I can utilize it off this little section. No, it all staggers down there as well. It's a bit of a tough one, isn't it? But then, actually, do you know what? No. No. I won't do warehouses just yet. Because I don't have any buildings that need to use the goods to create, you know, other goods. You know, the unique factories. So I won't build any of these specialized warehouses for the specialization products that the industries make until we get buildings like this in when they require to use them. But I do need to get in kind of warehouses in general for the generic commercial goods. Citizens are sick. Oh, that's not good, is it? Now, healthcare. We have good hospitals nearby as well. Maybe we'll get like a few special ones in. Sports hall and gymnasium. That would be kind of nice. Oh, that fits in perfectly like here. So even though it's not really a hospital, but it has a visitor capacity of 180, which kind of boosts the generic area. But this area is now slowly coming together, which is good to see. We'll squeeze a little bit of commercial in just here. Just to fill up that little corner. It's all coming together, isn't it, guys? It slowly is. A few more vehicles here, which look like they're filtering just beautifully. Which is also good to see. I think it's all happening. Yeah. We've got a little bit of a traffic jam over here right now. But these guys say this is the problem we've got as well. Is they're utilizing this road to exit and go out. When before they would have utilized the highway. Now, before on the highway, they used to go round because there's not that much traffic going through down here, so they wasn't getting caught. But they're now getting caught with all the traffic going straight ahead. Now, if I played around with the speed limits, because right now the speed limit is 50. So if I made the speed limits 30 on this road, and this road, which is probably not the best of idea. I'm not saying that driving down here at 70, then here at down here at 80 will make them start utilizing this way. It'll be interesting to see what kind of unfolds. But that is not very good. I reckon I'm going to have to create some overpasses. I'm still not 100% sure on this altogether. I mean, another simple way about doing it as well is also kind of creating actual highway connections. Oh, I think we just had like something happen over here right now. Because all of a sudden there's a lot of traffic trying to get into this casino. Why is this casino so popular? It's dropping off everybody, isn't it? There's like an event going down at this casino. See, this is the problem when you get all these like buildings all within one vicinity. There's moments where it just goes through the roof. But we're getting there anyway. Residents are sick. Is there pollution here or something? What are they sick from? Is it the highway noise? Is it the... Oh, is it sound? Ah. See, we've implemented a lot of trees in a lot of areas to create natural sound barriers. I think these guys are needing it as well. So, very interesting. Right, the traffic's starting to die down a little bit here right now. It's just kind of the very end of it. I didn't realise how crazy this casino was becoming. So, now I've reduced the speed limit. There's not that many vehicles using that road. So, I like to think now they're all utilising the highway because it's a lot quicker. Interesting. Very interesting. But, oh, we got sewage needs right now. Where am I currently pumping out sewage? Over there. So, I'll do a secondary one. Just to kind of add in the capacity. Which should help us out. But yeah, not too bad then. So we've got a nice little city park on the go. Making 4,000 big ones. Amazing. This little area is coming along quite nice right now, which we'll keep extending it. Next episode, we're going to build our university. It's going to be a very, very modest university. We've now got some additional buildings over at the Deadpan Mining Inc. So we're producing a little bit more glass. We've got that passenger transport line all the way up to Tumbleweed, which I also want to quickly check right now. So trains, and what would that be? Would that be number 4, number 6, right? So from here to Tumbleweed, right? Yeah. Which has quite a fair few people utilizing that as well. So I've got to go through all the train lines and bus lines eventually as time goes on, and making sure we've got enough vehicles for the capacity of those lines. But I think by just slightly reducing that speed limit, we're still getting people using it, but they're ultimately choosing to hit the highway more than anything, which I'll quite happily take. So eventually we have to look at kind of overpasses for a lot of these roundabouts as they start to get a little bit more heavily used. But things aren't looking too shabby for Dead End right now. And I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So good.